This episode, we take you right around to the other side of the world, to one of the most magical destinations you could ever imagine. It will captivate and inspire you. Vietnam. We're going on small ship luxury cruising to Halong Bay, and it's cruising unlike anywhere else you would have witnessed. It's mesmerizing. And we're taking you aboard the beautifully equipped ship that we were on, with jaw-dropping views from every direction, no matter where you sat. And all the while being served gourmet food as the sun set over the bay, and visiting locations that could have come right out of the movies. In fact, they have. So join us as we whisk you to the other side of the world in this totally different form of cruising, and explore all that it has to offer, from the adventurous to the awe-inspiring to the serene and the magical. This is the Ritzy Travel Guide. Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill, and it's great to have you along with us. Now, we booked this cruise to Vietnam because every once in a while you feel like really experiencing something different. A potentially life-changing moment, something so different from everything else that you can look back on it in years to come with great fondness. And having now completed it, I can tell you that the voyage we're showing you today should be added to that bucket list of experiences that you absolutely need to try once in your life. And this is the first in a brand new 5-part series where we take you around Asia with us to some stunning locations. And they're all totally different to each other. So this, the first episode, we kick off the series taking you around the beautiful waters of Vietnam. Then in episode 2, we take you to a beautiful elephant sanctuary, where they roam as nature intended, and we lodge in the rainforest and feed the elephants breakfast at dawn, before learning how to keep them healthy and fit. The location is just gorgeous. And in episode 3, we go deep into the jungle in Thailand to experience a railway-themed hotel. All aboard the Khao Yai Express. The resort is designed by a world-famous architect, where you sleep, dine and relax in renovated antique railway carriages. It's absolutely stunning, and likely will give you one of the most memorable and photogenic vacations you could ever hope for. In episode 4, we stay in Thailand and head to the capital, Bangkok, to recreate that famous One Night in Bangkok. We put together a feature-packed 24 hours itinerary to see just how vibrant and crazy it can get. And we stayed in a vintage 1930s hotel that's like it's right out of an opium den. In fact, it was. And we try our hand at exotic and off-the-wall street food. Everything from bugs to scorpions to worse.
I tell you what, I think we've got cricket breath something bad. How much Listerine are we going to have to swallow tonight to get rid of that flavour?
Don't say we haven't tried, dear viewer. We have. But if I were you,
exactly lobster, is it?
I possibly wouldn't. And in the final episode of our current Asian season, we take you to an ecotourism resort. It's over a tropical lagoon, in accommodation that's both luxurious and right out of Robinson Crusoe. It's enchanting and visually beautiful. But it very nearly goes 100% wrong. So that's all coming up in our Asian series. It's 5 parts. Do join us for each, as I think you'll find it captivating. It's a beautiful and vibrant part of the world. Right, so this time we're in Vietnam, and specifically Halong Bay, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And if ever you've dreamed of cruising through a mythical landscape, then Halong Bay, Vietnam should be at the very top of your list. We were last in Halong Bay 8 years ago, and were itching to get back to see what had happened in those intervening years. And I can tell you, there's been quite a lot of changes. The ships are getting ever more glamorous. Some of them could come right out of a Hollywood action movie, or grace the marinas at Monte Carlo or Saint-Tropez. This trip, we wanted to choose a ship that was quite traditional, but with a little bit of pampering. So we went with a company called Paradise Vietnam. They have a number of ships that ply that route, so have a lot of experience with it. And we spent a glorious few days at both Halong Bay and nearby Lan Ha. We would spend a few days in each on 2 of their ships as they toured both these different regions. We'll show you both ships and the routes we took, and we'll begin with the one that we started our trip on. It's called the Paradise Elegance. And it really is very boutique because it has just 31 cabins. Not often we cruise on a ship of that size, so it's going to be very interesting to compare to traditional large ships. And both ships have amazing cabins. And we were in what's called the Captain's View Suite. Absolutely lived up to that name. Right, so down to the ship we go. We pick up the action on day 1. We've just made the 2-hour trip from Hanoi and arrived at Halong Bay at the dock, ready to board. And there really is a bustling atmosphere down at the waterfront. Are we ready for a bit of small ship cruising? Do we call it small ship? Small boat? Not sure. They call it cruising anyhow.
Small boat cruising.
Now, there's not many cabins on board. This is quite small, quite boutique. It's quite niche. Right, we're about to go on board the ship. Let's have a look at what's going by first. It's Boat Spotter's Paradise here. You know you're a big mega yacht when your tender boat is that size. I love being at harbours. Doesn't matter where you are around the world, whether it be Hong Kong Harbour, Sydney Harbour, Singapore. It's a real buzzy atmosphere. Right, on we get. Exciting to see what it's going to be like. A lot of Paradise ships, aren't
I
there?
think it's a whole fleet of them. All in a maritime gear.
They're all looking very smart and shipshape with their attire, aren't they? Oh, you've got rose petals. Oh, hang on. There's somebody up there dropping them from up there. I was wondering where they were magically coming from. You can catch some.
But it's for everybody. It's everybody's honeymoon.
It is, isn't it?
It's very strange. It's like honeymoon.
Yes. It's a carpet of petals. Right, let's have a look. First look at the ship. It's got a certain timeless elegance to it. Very wood-panelled. I feel like I'm going to an Edwardian hotel. I feel like I should be dinging a bell there.
There's an overall charm to good paneling, isn't there?
Isn't there just? Yeah.
They have a grand piano for an evening.
Yes, they said there was a piano. And with that, we were ready for check-in. And the benefit of a small ship, Embarkation takes about 21 seconds. And upon entering, there's a delightful blend of Asia meets Old World London. You feel like you've just got out of a time machine and gone back to 1884 and Baker Street with Sherlock Holmes about to sweep round the corner with his portmanteau and cloak. What a lovely start of the cruise. Wood panel coming from everywhere.
There's a wood panel, beautiful grand piano. So I think there is a piano bar on board.
The piano bar. It is, I feel like it was 1920s Saigon. It's like a high-end river cruise you get throughout Europe, except with this one, you're going to sea in Asia. It's a whimsical collage of cultures and experience. But first, it was the meet and greet with the staff.
Xin chào!
And xin chào means hello or welcome in Vietnamese, and you'll hear it wherever you go, with an accompanying bow. All very formal, but rather nice. So, safety briefing over, we had a chance to look around the dining room, and we were really looking forward to eating here because this particular cruise line really prides itself on its cuisine. It's fine European food meets Asian fine dining. And that night, there was going to be lobster and beef on the menu. And I'll show you how that went and a selection of our meals throughout the cruise a little bit later. And with that, we took a little wander to the top deck. Well, it's all action stations out here. Everybody's getting ready to steam out. It's steaming out hour. Look at this. It's like Piccadilly Circus in Vietnam.
It's like leaving it.
Isn't it? It's a buzzy hour, this one. It's positively teeming with ships. Are they boats? We're going to need to work this one out. Vessels.
They all seem to be setting out at the same time.
They are. It's going to be a bottleneck. There's going to be a logjam. But that one's even got its own little utility boat.
And look, it's a little seaplane. Look.
Oh yeah, there's a little seaplane. I'm surprised that's not going to get mowed down. I mean, have they spotted that seaplane?
You've got to know where you're heading.
We'd only been on board for about 30 minutes by then, and already this Asian style of cruising was really grabbing us. Full of buzz, full of action. It's like a highway here at Halong Bay.
You even have your own pool.
There's a pool. Hang on, would you call it a jacuzzi? Is that us? I think the ship captain likes the sound of his own horn, doesn't he?
This is a jacuzzi.
It's a jacuzzi. We're designating it jacuzzi rather than a pool.
No,
It's got water in it.
There's jets all around.
Party Central later, isn't it? And it would be. I'll show you entertainment by the pool a little bit later. There's going to be a bar up here, isn't there?
I quite like the fact that the top deck is a lot of space. So maybe they have yoga in the morning. I think, we're in Vietnam, so there'll be Tai Chi in the morning.
There will be Tai Chi in the morning, which my wife, against my better judgment, forced me to join in. I'll subject you to a little bit of that later. And the scenery is absolutely stunning. It unwraps itself in front of you. Huge, majestic limestone cliffs towering above.
What a glorious sight. We're out on the back deck, watching a whole flotilla, a whole armada of ships heading out to Halong Bay.
Yeah, then and surrounded by this 1,969 limestone islands. And I can tell you, once you're in the middle of it, it's quite spectacular.
Mrs. Ritzy planning her own private launch. I feel it. She'll be in the classifieds before we get home, trying to find out how to get a Halong Bay yacht. Well, we've been introduced to all the activity staff. We've met the deputy captain. The main captain is steering the ship. We're about to have some lunch. Shut it up, I can smell.
Oh my god. Grilled prawns.
Is that what it is? I can smell seafood.
I can smell lunch. And the thing about being in a small ship is you can smell your lunch on deck. That's grilled prawns.
Should we go and check out the lunch? I wonder if the kitchens are right down here. Can you smell it everywhere where we're going? Can you smell it everywhere?
Grilled prawns. It's good.
And we were about to be full of food as well, because the lunch buffet was opening up. We'll show you that, and then straight after, we'll show you our cabin. And I think you're going to be rather wowed by it. Right, let's go and get some lunch, shall we? Centre stage was a huge platter of Japanese sushi and sashimi. Jet fresh, because fishing is a huge export in Vietnam, and they have a lot of exotic seafood. What has my wife found?
As you're in Halong Bay,
Yes.
food is mandatory. Fish, calamari,
That. Beautiful freshwater shrimps.
and I even haven't gone to the appetizers, yeah? This is just the
Sturgeon fish cake.
seafood now. So you have a fish cake, but this is sturgeon. So
Ooh,
This-
caramel custard.
this entire leg of Asian holiday, I haven't had dessert. But that caramel dessert, it's synonymous to Vietnam.
Is it?
Vietnam.
We must try that caramel custard.
Yes.
Our lemongrass drinks have arrived. But just look outside the window. You just have to go outside and just see behind us here. Look at that. Look how close we're getting to this. You can practically stick your arm out and touch. I don't think the captain wants you to stick your arm out and touch, but you can almost do that. Lunch in this direction, and then fantastic view in this direction.
You get so close to the limestone islands. It really is rather stunning.
Yes, you've got to keep looking out the windows. Just as you think you should be tucking into your lunch, you go past another stunning vista.
Don't look at your lunch.
No,
Just look at the view.
look out the window.
By the way, Ritzy Travel Guide is on Instagram and Facebook. If you enjoy following us around in real time, in between filming for YouTube, you can follow us on both of these. You'll see what we get up to, the countries we visit, and behind the scenes. The channel name is the same as here, Ritzy Travel Guide. There is the link up at the top, and I'll also put the address in the description box for this video. So follow along with us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you in those.
Right, shall we go and take a look at our cabin? There's always a certain amount of eagerness, anticipation, a certain amount of curiosity, what it's going to look like. And this one I think is going to be a little bit different, because first of all we're on a small ship, and secondly it's an Asian small ship, so...
It's the game of what's behind the door.
Yes.
So I'm hoping, if nothing else, it has a good window.
Yes. Right, in we go. Let's take a look at this cabin.
Oh my God.
What?
The view is 180. Look at that view.
Wow, look at that.
It's literally 180. And we have an end cabin, which means we have the beauty of a 180 view. Look at that. And because you're in Halong Bay, it's actually a view worth having.
Look at that. Huge bed, lovely paneling behind. Look at those verandas, look at those balconies off
Now,
it.
sometimes you have a veranda, but there's actually nothing much to look out to except the sea. Look at that.
Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a huge bed, certainly king size, certainly wider, and nice leather effect back to it.
It's almost like a Chesterfield.
Comfy cushion. It is almost like a Chesterfield, really. Right, shall I do a bed test to see how comfy it is? It's quite tight, so I have to fairly vault my way on here. It's quite comfy. Yes, I would say the pillows are pretty good. Very high.
It's a bit high because you seem to need
Quite
to
high.
launch
I
yourself.
literally do a pole vault myself on here.
Isn't it?
There we are. Bed view. Isn't that absolutely sparkling? You can imagine you're here with us, lying on the mattress. Actually, that doesn't sound quite right, but you know what I mean. Dear viewer, are you imagining you're here, lying on the mattress, looking out Vietnam in the distance, the slight gentle breeze as you look out the window, door is open. There, that's Vietnam, right outside there. But you know what, here we are testing out the bed. We haven't actually seen the bathroom yet. We can take a look at it. I'm intrigued to know what the bathroom looks like. We haven't even stepped foot in that one yet.
This bed is quite big, so I need to roll out.
Yeah, okay. Roll your way out of that bed. Past the view in the distance.
Viewers, if you have a room like this, please do not draw the curtains. Leave it open.
Who's going to see, right?
Nobody's going to see you.
Well,
and you
apart from
must
that woman pacing the deck over there, but apart from her,
absolutely enjoy this.
I see a bathroom. It's just window after window after window, isn't there? Look at that.
Oh my God.
Right, let's go and look at the bathroom. We haven't seen that. Looking rather nice from out here.
His and hers,
Yes,
or hers and his.
yes. That's very well specified, isn't it? Look. A nice tall shower. If you're 6'6", you can still get underneath that one.
It's huge. So there's a shower.
What? You mean, are we looking beyond the basin and the shower? We got a bathtub, look at that!
No, it's not just a bathtub, right? Even if you don't feel like having a shower, you ought to have one.
It's a bath with a view, isn't it?
It is not just a view to nothingness, not a dead sea. How often in a video do we ever show you bathtub view?
Not often.
Not often. In fact, we have never shown that at all. But when you're in Halong Bay, look, they're coming back.
Oh, the tender's coming.
Time to check out the veranda. It had a beautiful position over the bay.
It's like the opening credits to a movie. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Ooh, it's a big balcony. Look, I think it wraps all the way round. Look at that. You could not be more at the front, at the bow of the ship. Commanding view. The only person probably with a higher view than us is the captain. In fact, the only person higher than us is the captain. There's the captain's quarters up there. Apart from him, we are at the best spot of the ship.
Having checked out the cabin, it was now time to go up on deck because we had to get ready for our first activity of the day, ashore. So the shore excursions that you have once or twice per day are one of the real highlights of visiting Halong Bay. You absolutely should get off the ship because you're going to want to see it. I've got 4 of these excursions to show you that we took while we were on our cruise. We'll get to see some world-class amazing caves. We get rowed around in traditional boats around lagoons. Then we kayak through some hidden coves. And we have a visit to a local village. So, which of our daily activities should we start with? How about we go ashore to a local village and try some absurdly strong local wine and have our feet chewed by carnivorous fish? I jest not.
We're going to be going on bicycles into some Vietnamese villages to see some, village folk, see some village activity. Here we go. We're about to go on the tenders.
So during our cruise, we visited 2 different bays and areas, and this is in Lan Ha Bay, and it's particularly scenic. And there are over 400 islands. The limestone hills pop out at you as if in 3D. It's quite astonishing. And fishing is a way of life here, and it's possible to try delicacies such as this. This is a geoduck, or sometimes it's called a snail spout. Very odd, isn't it? But it's a real delicacy, and it's quite rare. So 15 minutes later, and we were arriving on shore, the most scenic spot you could imagine. Vietnam, right there in front of you. Ready for our journey inland to the village.
Well, here we go. This is going to be a bit of a laugh. We're going cycling. 4 kilometres, I think we're going, he said? 5. It's about 4 miles. Wow. What a beautiful, serene way to spend the afternoon. Bougainvillea's out. This is a perfect way to see round the bay. This is Vietnamese Portofino. Perfect temperature, not too hot, spring-like weather as we go round the UNESCO site of Halong Bay. Isn't it pretty? Do you know what I've just been thinking to myself? All this exercise, we've been working up an appetite for tea. I feel like we're getting close to a village because I smell charcoal and bonfires. There's the telltale sign of a village. It's all festooned in bright colours.
First stop was the village pond for something very, very peculiar.
All right. I hear a whole load of squealing and giggling here because apparently they're trying out fish nibbling massage. I feel we should dangle our tootsies, dangle our toes in there and give it a bash. All right, in we go.
I call this reverse foot pyramid.
Right. Okay. Any piranhas come for you yet? Oh, look, there they are, look. We've got these tiny little stools we're sitting on.
So, for lunch, I had fish.
Yes.
And now, they're eating me, so this is the one opportunity to have reverse foot pyramid.
I just had a nibble on my feet. Whoa! I have to say, it's quite a strange sensation. It's like somebody jabbing you with little needles. It's quite strange.
It's like induced
teeth, these fish.
Induced pin and needles.
It is.
Induced pin and needles.
It's like...
Whoa, look at that.
It's very, very weird. I don't think I've ever experienced something.
Reverse pin and needles.
It is like somebody's jabbing you with pins. It's really very odd. I'm trying to think whether it's nice or not. Imagine somebody going like that with a safety pin into your feet, and there's about 10 or 15 of them. Look at the thousands of them. Look.
Now, here's the thing. They're eating dead skin, right?
Yes. Look, I mean, there's a swarm.
So,
there's a plague.
can I just deduce that you have lots of dead skin?
There's a plague of them. Oh, there's a dead one there.
After eating, you're dead.
There's a plague of fish.
You just killed the fish.
It's weird, isn't it?
They are going between the crevices of the toes, which means that's where the skin is.
It's all very weird.
Right, now we've had our feet chewed off, back to the bone, we're going to try some
time
rice
to
wine.
Eat that. It's time to eat them.
Here we go. Look at that choice of rice wine. Well, let's try them all from... Oh, what's in there? It's a cobra.
Cobra rice wine.
Not particularly tempted.
Or you can have a mouse. The mouse in there as well.
Field mouse wine. Right, well, we're practically taking our life into our hands here because this could be like 5,000% proof and strong.
Quite
Right.
milder. Thank you. I have honeycomb.
Quite fruity. Quite a strong bouquet.
Strong wine.
It's a very strong wine, is it?
What is the alcohol level?
35 to
But I have to cycle back.
no,
I will cycle into the sea.
yeah, it's okay. You enjoy a little bit and not too much.
Not all at once.
Yes, only one.
Right, okay, here we go.
40% alcohol. Good luck.
It's quite strong, isn't it?
How about this?
I think it's
Bill, why am I having it?
I have it. Could light a cigarette with this or a bonfire. It's quite strong. Okay,
Honey.
honey.
Oops.
Yes, that's quite strong, isn't it? What happens if you have 5 of these?
You.
Yes, and with the and for later 5 minutes or 10 minutes and this is a
I'm going to be very drunk, am I, in 5 minutes?
So,
yes, and 5 or
It's-
10 minutes.
okay.
Alright.
It's kind on you
Set your
now.
watches.
So it's kind on you now. The repercussions come in 5
5 or
minutes.
10 minutes. I will cycle straight into the bay.
Good luck.
Right.
Snack, strawberry, lychee, artichoke flower, banana, and honeycomb.
We had a merry afternoon, trying out just about everything on the shelf, pretty much from left to right. Well, when I say we tried it, more me, really. My wife then thought I needed a sobriety test. Silly activity of the day, walking along the village bamboo poles to see who would come a cropper.
Okay, look, it's an assault course. Off you
Okay,
go.
Bill. I'm not the one who just had the wine,
Yes.
so I should film this.
Okay,
Because
let's
you
go across the assault course.
see after the wine,
Yes.
are you able to walk straight?
Here we go. Right, ballet class is coming in handy here.
So. I'll just film you when you fall, okay?
So far, not too bad. You want me to fall in, don't you? I
Yes.
can see the look on your face.
Yes?
I think there are snakes in.
I didn't fall off, strangely enough, but after all that rice wine, I can tell you what, it was quite a wobbly ride back to the ship on our bicycles. And the scenery in the late afternoon sun was an absolute delight. It's just what you hoped Vietnam promised, and indeed delivers on. The water is such a beautiful, shimmering emerald green. Several Hollywood movies have been filmed in this region, and you can understand why.
How beautiful is this?
Because the sights of these traditional fishing boats and the trawlers and the homes of the village people are as photogenic as you can get. And we stopped to snap away as we went, put some photographs in our coffee table books. We were particularly excited because we realised this was just part of even more activities we could look forward to over the next couple of days. And it was back onto the tender boats in the dying rays of the sun. We had some on-deck cooking classes to look forward to, and whilst we journeyed back, we sat there and breathed it all in. Some people might exaggerate the beauty of places you visit around the world, but here in Vietnam, no exaggeration is necessary. It is just as I'm showing you here. The slight mist in the air gives a surreal orangey glow. I haven't added in this colour. This is exactly as it was. It's so atmospheric. Sometimes when you're on a tender boat, you want that journey to be over in a flash. This one, I wanted to go on, and you can understand why generations of boat people live here. It's got this National Geographic feel and way of life to it all. You really do feel like you are sailing past something that should be gracing the cover of a travel magazine. It's a type of vacation that really isn't replicated anywhere else. And we were thankful to have flown 12 hours to get here from the other side of the world, and there's very few vacations you can say that about. So the shore excursions that you have once or twice per day are one of the real highlights of visiting Halong Bay.
And with that, we sail off into the distance.
And we had a fun evening coming up. Up on deck, the music was starting up, the sun was going down, and the rooftop was the perfect place to watch it all from. Until out of the corner of my eye, I saw there was a spring roll making class. Now, despite me being practically a certified Iron Chef at Vietnamese cuisine, I thought it would be fun to have a stab at it.
Whenever you do cooking class in Vietnam, they always show you two things: spring roll and pho.
Yes.
Today, we have prawn spring roll. In all the times I've done spring rolls at home, he has never rolled a spring roll. We're going to check his precision in a minute. They put a bit of coriander sesame. As roll as tight as you can.
How semi-pro does that look?
Not bad. Not bad at all. That is a pretty good attempt.
Well, look at that. I think I'm fairly semi-pro. Now, what's that sound I hear? No, it's not the music in the background. It's the sound of you patting me on my back for making such an expert job of this.
Très bien. But what is more amazing is look at the view behind.
What? And the amazing spring rolls in front.
Yes, the spring rolls in front.
I think I could almost open a Vietnamese fine dining restaurant now. As we sat on deck with a drink in one hand and a Michelin-grade spring roll in the other, and the bubbles of the jacuzzi. The bay was glimmering, and the buzzing with ships coming and going. The ship's band singing their hearts out. It's a scene that you won't easily forget. It's as pretty in real life as you're seeing on the screen. And with that, the dinner gong was going downstairs. It was time to take our seats. The room was looking quite beautiful, and before everyone trooped in, I wanted to show you just a little bit of the scene so you can imagine it. So we were all set for our 5-course dinner, starting off lightly and then getting to calorie heaven.
Dinner service? I can see that you're on the beer again.
Yes, I am. Saigon beer. Good Vietnamese beer. Slightly sweet, slightly honeyish. We have a smoked salmon salad with a smear. Don't you like how chefs smear? And look, 1, 2, 3 little dots, green dots. Incoming. Seafood bisque. Does it taste like the ocean?
Yeah. With a diving board into the soup.
It's quite artistic.
The thing is, there's 2 starter, 2 mains and a dessert, so it's literally 5 courses.
It is, it's quite a lot, isn't it? We have a lobster thermidor.
What stands out? Plating.
It is. Look at that.
The plating is beautiful.
Not often you get lobster thermidor included for the price, is it? It's an unusual thermidor swap.
It's like a gratin.
It is. It's a bit like a croque monsieur lobster thermidor. That's the flavour that's coming through.
I would call it a lobster gratin. It's like flambe with cheese.
Here we go. Next course, steak.
But the best thing on the steak is this piece of carrot. Look at the carving.
That's been beautifully done. A work of art.
Isn't it? A bit of parsley.
And for dessert, we have some ice cream, some creme brulee, and some chocolate cake.
It was an extremely good meal, fine dining, and so much of it. After that, we had to do several laps on the top deck, which didn't take long, fairly quick from front to back, so we had to go round and round until we got giddy. It is a beautiful, in fact I'd say, a really romantic place to sit back and look at the scene in front of you, drink in the atmosphere. And the bay was still alive as the clock struck midnight. Now the ships clustered around, having their own celebrations into the night. And downstairs our band was still at it, belting out the numbers. Whenever we're on a cruise, we always try to make time to take a stroll and drink it all in. You never know if you'll be back. It was a clear night, stars twinkling above, Halong Bay in the background, and for just that moment in time, life felt good. Next morning, we were up with the sunrise. Once again, we could see what a delightful spot we'd anchored at overnight. How could you not be entranced by the location? We had a fascinating day ahead of us. Well, good morning. It's bright and early. Up here on deck just to see what's going on, and can you see all sorts of activity, people going by, and we were woken up a little bit earlier by the sound of the pat, 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 pat. Can you hear that? In the background there, that's the little vendors going by in their sampans, trying to sell you something. They'll come up to your veranda, Go, hello, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Can I sell you something? Well, broken English, but that's the rest. They're trying to sell you something. Maybe some souvenirs, some snacks, anything that they think might tempt you. Isn't it gorgeous at this time of the day?
You wake up, you open your eyes, and the curtain rises to this.
See, here's one now, you see? She'll be trying to sell me all sorts of things. Shall we see what's in her boat? Snacks, souvenirs, necklaces, bracelets, all sorts of paraphernalia, like one of these old-fashioned vendors you see all around the world. Huge raft of things they think might tempt you. All the passing sampan ladies have been trying to catch my eye to sell me something. I haven't caved in yet. And with that, we were headed towards breakfast. Hang on a minute, I hear some pre-breakfast music going on. What's going on? Maybe there's some action to be had. Is there some Tai Chi going on somewhere? No, there is. There's some Tai Chi going on. There's morning Tai Chi going.
Bill, I think you should join ours.
What, Tai Chi?
Right there.
You want me to join in the Tai Chi?
Go.
I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. My wife thought it would be very funny seeing me doubling up into positions I don't normally reach. I was quite zen for a few seconds. So it was time for a reward. Some pre-breakfast cookies. There we go. Early morning coffee. Well, there might also be a couple of biscuits and a pat au chocolat on there, but it's nice early morning coffee. Find herself a spot on the deck. There's my wife, taking in the view. There we go. Nice morning coffee.
The coffee has a slightly roasted flavour, doesn't it?
Yes, and maybe there might be a small little pat au chocolat there as well.
And cookie.
And a cookie, yes. But we're mostly focusing in on the coffee. Fresh Vietnamese coffee. I almost feel like we're in an advert, really. Drink Vietnamese coffee. Lovely seeing all the sampans. Look at the activity in the morning. It's all buzzy, buzzy, buzzy.
The smaller the boat, the louder the engine.
You could watch it for hours, couldn't you? All the morning activity. Quick breakfast, and then we were away for caving. Right, we're off to see some caves. Apparently startling, amazing, a sight to behold.
First excursion for the day, 7:45.
Right, looking forward to this one. Everybody talks about the Vietnamese caves. Good morning. Vietnam's famous for its caves, so high expectations. There we go. Those are the caves we're going to. Now, I think we're not the only people who are visiting these caves. Let's see how busy they get. We got to climb all the way up there. That will get our Fitbit step count in, won't it? There's our little tender boat that just brought us in. We're moored out there. Right, let the great ascent begin. Up, 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 up.
200 steps. And 400 steps in the cave, 200 steps down, so 800 steps round trip.
Time for a quick view, halfway up, before we entered in. You can understand why it's been the location for some Hollywood blockbuster movies. Now, it's quite a big cave, this one. He said you could get 2,000 people in here at once.
In 3 chambers, each progressively larger. I love caves.
Do you? You love caves?
I really like them.
Big, isn't it? From the outside you can't tell, but it's, well, the word's cavernous. That's the word, cavernous.
Have I told you about the time you got stuck in a cave?
I did get stuck in a cave.
Which way does Bill go now?
That's a
whole nother story and a whole nother episode.
Look.
Oh, look. Narrow slit. Very sure-footed. Could do with being an elephant going down here.
And these caves build up your anticipation because each one of the 3 chambers gets progressively bigger, more colourful, and more dramatic.
I feel like we're on the set of Indiana Jones, except it's actually for real.
Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
Just waiting for the snake to come out.
yeah.
Lara Croft, Temple of Doom.
Yes, you could be Lara. Right, let's go in deeper, deeper still. Down into the depths.
Into the 3rd chamber. And the largest.
Yes. It's your travel guide and the Chamber
Okay,
of
you
Doom.
think that is big? Look at this. Wow.
And then you get to Chamber 3, the most famous one of the lot.
It's just awe-inspiring at every turn. I'm not sure I've been to many caves around the world that's on this scale, so beautifully lit, so well laid out, and takes your breath away. It's difficult to put into words what we're seeing because however I describe it, it's not going to do it justice, is it? It is quite spectacular. It's more than quite spectacular. We're not giving the right adjectives for this. Do you know what? I almost expect to see some dinosaurs coming around the corner. It feels very prehistoric in here. Hey? Oh, power cut for a minute. You can imagine you were here the French when they came in the early 1900s.
The scream.
If there's one cave you should visit when you're in Halong Bay, this is the one. It's by far the most impressive. We've been into a few of them, but this one really does take your breath away.
Some attractions around the world are overhyped. This is not one of those occasions. It absolutely deserves the accolades it gets. Right, we have one last spectacular part of Halong Bay to show you, and it's as photogenic and awe-inspiring as anywhere else, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But by that time, we had transferred over to our second ship of the trip, the Paradise Grand, and here it is, and it's actually their flagship of the fleet, and we were also in the captain's view, right at the front.
So, we're on to our second ship, second cabin. Should we see what it looks like?
I like the way he always gives me the first peek. That's exciting.
Yes, off we go. Still got these lovely wooden wall panels. There's our luggage outside.
This is more like walnut colour. I like the walnut colour.
Now I can see, here we are, we're right at the front of the ship, so we should get another fantastic view from the cabin. We've got, again, this one is called Captain's View, the cabin. There's 2 of them right at the front of the ship. Oh, were you almost blown away there? Are we ready? We go. Here we go. Spacious enough for you?
It's a glorious room.
Have you spotted what's in the corner there?
But look at this. It's a bath, but it's double aspect. So, you can look into the room. It's absolutely
Let's go and take a peek.
stunning. Look at that. Normally, my bath lasts 15 minutes, but tonight, I'm gonna go for a full half hour. Look at this.
Bathroom with a view, isn't it?
It's the $1 million bath.
Can I point out something else? You haven't actually seen the veranda at the front. There. Look at that window out from the bed.
So here was our balcony. In fact, you could call it a veranda, right at the front of the ship with a glorious setting, 270 degrees of the bay all around us.
I'm just gonna swing this round because you
Not
can.
often you're in a UNESCO World Heritage Site, out your window, with a bed that looks from there all the way round to there to the front. How often do you get this opportunity to be on the sea, on the water? Fantastic cabin, fantastic bed. and then have that. Often you'd be looking at something quite boring, quite tedious. But look at that.
I'm going to put people in your shoes. I'm going to swing round.
Yes. And if you come at the right time, it's a perfect climate. I'll go through what's the right time later on in the video. But if you come at the right time, you don't need your aircon. The doors and the windows are open. It's a lovely warm temperature, dry heat, just casual clothes. Swing open the doors, swing open the windows. You see, look there. Look at that formation just going by. It's there. You can almost touch it. Now, the benefit of having a balcony right... Oh, hang on a minute. Ship ahoy. We're practically motoring into each other. Oh, is that the lookout? Look at that. It's a really enjoyable cabin. If you can swing it, absolutely do go for the Captain's View Suite. Look who's arrived outside our cabin, our evening Halong Bay vendor. I'm not sure how we're going to take it from there. What are they going to do? Throw it up? Because we're up here and she's down there. What's she going to do? Put a huge net up there? They're quite resourceful, aren't they? Look, you see, as we're motoring along, they try and lure us in, tempt us with something to buy off them. What do we think she's got? Anything we want? Well, hang on a minute. What's she going to do? Is she going to chuck it up? Oh, there comes a net. Hang on, there's somebody up there. Look, hang on a minute. What's she going to do? She's going to throw it up there. Behind. Huge, huge, huge extendable pole. Oh, it's him. There he is. It's a bottle of water. Well, they actually serve bottles of water here. Maybe he's just trying to be helping out the local community. I think we're fast approaching our anchoring spot for the evening. The captain's scoped out somewhere fun to go.
I think everybody's moored for the night.
They are. It's a popular spot. Everybody wants to be just here. Everybody's got their rooftop parties going.
Rooftop party, happy hour has just started. 15 minutes into a happy hour, we ought to get cracking.
Yes, run! As it's cocktail hour, everybody's pulling up, getting ready. Oh, there she goes again. Our favourite little vendor. No, it's a different one. Another little boat.
We have those nets that you can lock.
Yes, very, very, very long nets. Like 30 foot, 40 foot long poles. Isn't it a perfect spot for a cocktail? And as the sun set, we watch the scene across the bay. The ships glimmering and reflecting on the water. It was time for us to head down to dinner. But we did linger for a few minutes to drink it all in. And we prepared ourselves for another 5-course East meets West fusion feast. And we have a duck salad with dragon fruit and citrus.
You've got a special salad. It's not available to everybody else.
Oh, is my salad more special than yours?
No.
Oh, how sad.
For the stand.
Oh, bad luck. Have you not got the secret menu?
Look at that, how pretty. Yeah.
Would you like some of my mushroom soup? You seem to have taken both soups. That soup is delicious, isn't it? I think that is one of the best mushroom soups I have had.
Inside, but
It's magical, isn't it?
mushroom, it had like a smoky flavor. Would you like to swap?
It's one of the best mushroom soups I've ever had. It's outrageously good. Well done, Vietnam. Go Vietnam for your mushroom soup. It's delicious, isn't it? I don't know what they've put in it, but a magician has had a go at that. Maybe it's magic mushrooms. That's it. It's magic mushrooms. I should be high in a minute.
Maybe we should have a word with the chef.
I don't often scrape the bottom, but I'm scraping the bottom of this one. I honestly think that is the best mushroom soup I've ever had.
And who knew you need to come to Vietnam for that?
Look at that work of art. That's handmade. What do you say? Deep fried carrot? Stunning, isn't it?
On your
Passion fruit panna cotta. No calories whatsoever. Once again, a fabulous dinner. And then up to the top deck to survey the scene. And just before we turn in for bed, it's fun just to look around the bay and see what's going on. And all the boats are in different mode. They've all got their different music.
There are different jukeboxes.
It's the various songs.
All the ships have the different jukebox. They are on
Frank Sinatra.
We are on Twist. And I stood tall and did it my way.
All around the bay, different music.
Every boat have a different genre. They're playing completely different genre. My way. I think it's great that you can sing along to tunes from the neighboring boat. It's fantastic.
We danced into the night. And the next morning promised to include one of the best excursions of the lot. Well, good morning. Look at that. The orange glow as the sun rises. Very, very early. 6:15, because a lot of the activities start at the crack of dawn. They're encouraging us all to go for our first excursion. But before all that, I think we need a morning coffee. We need to pep ourselves up. We need to wake ourselves up. Can't possibly go gallivanting around the Vietnamese mountainside without at least a coffee and perhaps a little bit of a pastry, if I could sneak one of those past my wife. So let's go down and get some breakfast. Beautiful morning. Getting yourself comfy for your sunrise coffee. Okay, let's go look at the kayak Tai Chi quickly. Quickly, let's go take a look. Let's go. No, quickly. Alright, gang, let's drop in on Tai Chi. We were supposed to go to it, completely forgot. How can we forget to go to morning Tai Chi? It's practically an institution here in Vietnam. Okay, what are they doing?
There's a lot of people.
Are there? Okay, let's go have a look.
Except us.
Okay, let's go. I don't know how we missed that. Busy, isn't it? My goodness, it's busy. Crikey, I'm surprised the boat isn't tipping over.
Except you and me.
Yes, I know. No wonder there was no one down at early morning coffee. They were all here. Golly.
I feel as though I'm playing truant.
You are playing truant. Why aren't you there? And with that, down to breakfast. Oh, hang on a minute. Has my wife got some pâte au chocolat? That is highly unusual. There's some calories and carbohydrates in those. What is that you're eating? Oh, yes. What are you thinking? Have you lost your senses?
I've never eaten a pastry on board.
I think I should. Have you checked out?
It's hot. It's warm and
You mean, are you giving me permission to try one?
Chef, I should get you on.
Can't believe I've been given permission to try this out. Well, with gusto and abandon, I've taken one. I've done as instructed. I've taken a pastry.
I didn't insist.
Well, fairly. It was very close to insisting. There we are. Isn't that beautiful? There we are. Pastry as instructed, with a beautiful sunrise. I tell you what, it's not a pâte au chocolat, it's a pâte au custard, or whatever the French word is, apologies for that. Look, it's got a very nice custardy filling. Sweet, vanilla-y, custardy. It's the perfect way to start breakfast, as I guiltily listen to the Tai Chi going on up there, while I'm munching into pastries.
I don't normally have pastries for breakfast, but this time even I've succumbed. It's really nice.
What's that sound I hear? It's the sound of me being smacked by the Tai Chi master for avoiding her class.
Activities start at the crack of dawn,
They do.
so you do have to be up at 6 o'clock.
This is none of these, like, Caribbean cruises where you might be lucky if the excursion starts at 10 or 11.
It's breakfast till 11 a.m. business.
No. Vietnamese cruise activities start, almost last night.
No. Halong Bay wakes up at 5.
It does, 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody is awake. We're quite slug-like. We're quite lazy just to be up at 6.
Forget the 8 hours sleep. Wake up at 5 o'clock and literally watch the world go by.
And have a nice custard
Danish
bakery.
pastry. We were the first to the pastry.
How many of these do you think we're allowed to have?
As many as you like. But with wife's permission, 1.
Right, are we ready for a bit of excursioning? We're going on 2 different types of excursion. You're going kayaking again, self-propulsion.
Bamboo rafting.
Yes, I'm being rowed. I'm going in an authentic bamboo raft, rowed by authentic people around what we hope is a very pretty bay.
Just different variation of experiences.
And with that, off to our excursion. So over the course of the cruise, we went on 2 types of boating trips, and I'll show you a bit of both days. And here is trip 1, and you get rowed around in these rather fabulous little boats by the villagers who row in this rather unorthodox fashion. They stand up gondola style and have this unique action, but absolutely makes sense as they can see where they're going. It was all very serene and peaceful on the water. And when you enter, you see the most amazing rock formations. It's a beautiful experience as you glide underneath. And there aren't too many places where you can experience this. You see theme parks around the world trying to make their version of this, but there's nothing like the real thing. Meantime, Mrs. Ritzy headed off with gusto to the self-propelled kayak section. And we bobbed and swayed as the boatman took us through. And along came my wife, powering her way along. There was a strong tide, so she was having to battle the waters. As we carried on by, it really was a gorgeous setting. Even the boatman was happily singing to himself. Until we heard the call of monkeys and tried to locate where that sound was coming from. We peered and we scanned, trying to see where the birds were swooping around. And then we spotted them. They were there, perilously clinging to the side of the rocks. With that, they raced away and were gone. It was lovely to see them. Nothing beats being with wildlife in its natural habitat. And then, a couple of days later, we headed to another location to get on the water and see the caves. And this one was just as pretty as the last. And I was about to be taken around by the boat guys, but my wife advised me we would have altogether more fun if we did it ourselves. Rowboat Central. We've got some boats to get on. Righty-ho, into kayak mode. Alright, we're off on a voyage of discovery. It's so photogenic. And my wife was right. Of course, being near to the water gave it an added dimension. If you're fit and able-bodied, absolutely do try to do this. And as I sat in the back, I did lots of photography. It really did feel like we were auditioning for a reality travel program as we made our way across. It was just us and the water. Life can be so stressful, and to be able to get away to locations such as this, if only for just the briefest moment in time, makes it all worthwhile. We had to pinch ourselves that we were there, as did everyone else. Vietnam does give you these experiences that are worth the long distance travel, worth the planning and preparation, to get yourself to the other side of the world and see with your own eyes a different way of life. One that these people were leading. If only we could have frozen that moment in time and bottled it up. It's an astonishing part of the world, it really is. There's no other word for it, astonishing. We've been to Halong Bay and its capital, Hanoi, 5 times over the years. And people ask us, why do you keep going back? And the answer has always been very clear, because there are aspects of it you don't see anywhere else. Sometimes cruising needn't be about huge ocean-going liners visiting the same rounds of ports over and over again. Cruising could also be about venturing to lesser-known sites that will charm and beguile you. We might not be living hundreds of years ago, but occasionally you can travel to a destination where you feel very close to how it would have been. It's a window into the past, a window into history. If you do get the opportunity to go to Halong Bay, do take it. It will reward you over and over again. Now, a few practicalities: where, when, and how. So, the best time of the year to go for us, we would suggest to you spring or autumn, because you'll get the best weather in those months. We were there in late March, and it's ideal. Now, you have to fly into Hanoi first, that's the nearest point of contact, and then you drive for about 2 to 3 hours to Halong Bay. A lot of the cruise companies will put on a dedicated transfer, otherwise several other independent companies will organize that transfer for you. Now, if you want to book the exact same cruise that we just took, we used a company called Paradise Vietnam. We were really happy with them. Now, we're not being paid to promote them, we're not receiving any commission, we're merely saying we took it and we think they did a fantastic job. I said to them I would leave their company details down in the description of this video, which I have, so you can scroll down and take a look at that. So if you want to book with them, that's the link to click. I said I would do it, and I'm very happy to do so. Now, this is just part 1 of our 5-part series of some fascinating places we're going to be taking you around Asia. These are all coming up in the next few weeks. We'll take you to a train-themed luxury resort in the middle of the rainforests and jungles. And it's spectacular. We'll also be staying at an elephant lodge, feeding them breakfast through our window. It's an absolutely magical experience. Following that, we go to an eco-lodge over a tropical lagoon that is picture perfect. But I almost lose my temper and storm out, and you'll see why. And then after that, we recreate that legendary one night in Bangkok and eat our way through exotic insects and show you why Bangkok is such a vibrant place to visit. All that coming up. Please do subscribe to our channel. Subscription is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just tells you when the next video is ready. And if you want, you could hit that notification bell, and that notifies you when the videos are indeed on our site. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us here on the Ritzy Travel Guide. Whilst waiting for those next installments, we already have some videos of interest to watch here, and indeed some here, and we'll see you in one of those right now.